So my name is Danya Hamad, and I am here with...
I'm Symon Perriman.
And Symon, how did you get involved with Disruptive Technologies and becoming on the panel today?
Well, I spent a long time at Microsoft, about 8 years, where we were kind of at the cutting edge of a lot of technologies. So that's been something I've worked with for a while, primarily with cloud computing. And today the focus is on artificial intelligence, and I'm seeing that used across pretty much every industry now. A lot of people don't even realize it. And I run several businesses right now. They're very different, but we use artificial intelligence in all of them.
Yeah, your businesses are so different and so unique. Like one is very fan focused, the other is a little bit more internal work. So can you talk a little bit about your projects and why do you choose what you choose?
Sure. So Express is a secure productivity and communications network with a variety of different tools that run on it. So kind of like a secure version of Slack. And we use artificial intelligence in that space to kind of optimize messaging, as well as help users optimize their workflows, to automatically order an Uber, to do process workflows. So it's basically helping businesses become more efficient. The other business I run is called FanWid. We're the world's largest fan club network, and we promote sports events for people around the country. And we use artificial intelligence to help project where people are going to be moving to, traveling to, popular sporting events, just based on different times of the year.
And a lot of people have been noticing that AI and technology in general, it's great because it is replacing a lot of jobs that people don't have to do. But it's also replacing a lot of people. Is that something you think we have to be worried about, or is it actually in our benefit?
Well, I think you saw a similar transition when cloud computing happened. People that were doing repetitive, rote jobs, they started to get displaced by automation. And AI kind of does automation, but at a larger scale. So what we're going to start to see is shifts in the industry. It's not that it's going to take away jobs. There might just be a shift in skill sets. So people that were doing repetitive data analytics tasks, they can now learn how to manage AI. They can learn to optimize that. And so really the skill set is shifting from doing these repetitive tasks to setting up the platform, the processes, to be able to do that at a much bigger scale.
So what is something that you can predict in the it's hard, no one's a fortune teller, right? But if you could see the next 10 years from now, the future of AI, what's your prediction?
Well, I think the biggest trend that we've seen in the last couple of years has been the commodification, meaning that even 5-10 years ago, I couldn't just go and hook into an AI system and give an image and get a response. Now that cloud computing and fast bandwidth has happened, we've allowed anyone to have access to AI who wants it. So we're going to continue to see the prices go down, the opportunities go up, accuracy increase. So I think a lot of businesses are really going to embrace it, or they're going to start to fall behind the competition. Whether that's they're less efficient, they make less revenue, they don't have the same benefits of doing marketing to such a targeted audience. So I think most industries are going to be changed by it, especially the high-tech ones.
And how do you feel about incorporating, so for having, let's say FanWire, for example, being such a people-centric company and just a concept, so how do you feel about influencer marketing and just incorporating social media into what you do?
So at least on the sports side, social media is huge. We work with several professional athletes. Cliff Averill, one of the Seahawks players, is a brand ambassador and advisor. So influential marketing, that's critical for us. Whenever you're a new brand, a new company, being able to work with an influencer who believes in you, has people trust in him, gives you the opportunity to amplify that message, but also with credibility. It helps you break down barriers, get into new industries. And certainly for myself, coming from a high-tech field, moving into sports where I didn't have any real reason to be there, it was tough to kind of break into that. So working with influencers really goes a long way.
Nice. But you're a sports fan, though, right?
A sports fan, but not an athlete, though.
Well, you don't have to be an athlete to enjoy it and to have great ideas about
That's
it.
true. That's true. But one of the things I thought that was really surprising when I moved into the industry was there's kind of irrational economics in sports. What I mean by that is you work with big brands, big companies, professional athletes. Traditional economics of, hey, we do this, we get out of this, doesn't really work just because they have so much value built into them.
Well, very well said. So I want you to finish this sentence. I wish robots could...
I wish robots could get rid of every boring part of my life.
Ooh, wow, that's happening.
Get there, though. We are going to get there, right? It'll take a little longer, right? They got to know you, they got to personalize it, and it's not just training the robots on the patterns that they have to recognize. That's kind of the core of artificial intelligence, but it's also making sure they do the right responses at the right time, which is part of that as well.
Right. And this group that we're a part of today, Disruptive Technologists, that is like a heck of a word, words. What does it mean to be a disruptive technologist?
I think it really means, look at the cutting edge of the industry. AI is going to be a disruptive technology. It's going to alter the way that every single business operates, runs, functions, becomes more efficient. So I think a group like this is great. It's a collection of open-minded people. They're looking for cutting-edge technologies, and they want to share that with the community. Anytime you want to go and build a community, you have to do events like this, bringing hundreds of people together, sharing that knowledge, sharing that information. So I think this is a great group, and these are the type of people that want to learn these ideas, bring them into their own businesses, their own organizations, which will help amplify and spread that message as well.
Very nice. And I have to ask you, what is something you personally geek out on?
So one of the things that I've been most excited with is Express, this company that I'm working with, because what they've done is they've solved the privacy issue which exists in every industry, right? If you've been on Google, Facebook, Slack, they've all been hacked. That's just a fact, right? Personal data is being compromised. So what I really like about Express is they've basically built this network. It's got the best encryption in the industry. So from you sending any type of message, it gets transmitted to your friends, to your business, to the government. Any organization just has this entirely encrypted network. So it's fairly revolutionary in what they're doing. The company's just come out of stealth mode, so this is really the second week we started to talk about it as a business. So we're excited to see how it will grow.
Well, I'm excited too. Well, this has been very enlightening. I'm so happy that you were our first speaker, and I'm really excited to hear you on the panel with so many of these other brilliant panelists, experts in AI and tech. And I don't know if you can give us a hint of what you'll be talking about, but we're more than
Sure.
happy.
So kind of what I'm going to be focusing on is the role that corporations have with AI ethics. So if you're a business, you're using AI, how should you be ethical? Where are the boundaries? What should you allow people to do or not allow people to do? And so we're going to bring up a lot of thought-provoking questions around what role should corporations play in the development of AI.
Yeah, definitely. It also seems like something that we should teach people too. Maybe we can get on the same page.
I think so. We're still a kind of a foundation, right? With it being so new. Artificial intelligence ethics has kind of been around for a while. Since the 1940s, there were science fiction writers that wrote about the laws of robotics, things like that. But it's really only now that it's becoming applicable where it can change every day, and each company does have a responsibility to themselves, to their shareholders, but more importantly to their customers about how they handle that data and keep it secure and what they use it for.
Nice. Well, very much looking forward to it. Thank you so much, Symon.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
All right.